Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I want to show you guys the tour of our home. So before we left Tucson, we went ahead and took some time and delayed our trip to really personalize and customize our space. So I hope you guys enjoy this tour. When entering the RV, you enter our main living space. On the one side, we have our kitchen area. On the other side, we have our table where we do a lot of our events. We do our dining, homeschooling, hanging out, watching TV, board games, you know it. This is the space that we use the most. And we actually did customize this area, and I'm so glad that we did because we use it so much. Now going into the back of the RV, we'll enter into the kids' bedrooms, and I'm so glad that we got an RV that had a bedroom nook. And so we have the 3 kids in there. They each have their own bunk. Each bed has their own cubby, fan, and light. Now it's nice because they have so much room that they have space for their own plushies. Now underneath one of the beds, we did remove the bed that was there and we installed a reading nook area, which is really nice because they can sneak away and play in there, and it just gives them their own little space to enjoy. If any of the kids need any kind of privacy, we have a curtain that they can draw and have that space. Now, right after we leave their bedroom area, we have the bathroom sink, which is neat because we are able to customize it with some sticker tiles. And underneath the sink, we have all of our electronics for the solar panels. And then right across from it, we have the lavatory. Now coming from the other side of the RV, we're seeing that living space. Now my husband was so sweet. We really customized this space by installing some bookshelves. Bringing my favorite books was really important to me. So when my husband custom made this bookshelves for me, it meant so much. So I brought just a handful of them. In the bookshelves, I was able to store some of the kids' school supplies. This is the one that we actually use on a daily basis. So it's nice because it's nice and accessible, and I can just sit right here and pull out their school stuff. And one thing that we had to be very mindful of was the weight. So I couldn't bring as many books as I wanted, but I was definitely able to bring the handful of them that I really needed. Now right across from this space, we have the pantry area, and I'll show you guys in a minute what was here before. But this pantry has become so valuable to me. I love this pantry. Right above the pantry, we have our TV. Now the next and final room is our bedroom. Now the bedroom has the only painting that we have in the RV. It's my favorite. It was made by a dear friend of mine, and it's so symbolic. Whenever I see it, I'm like, yes. And it's nice because my husband sees it right before we go to bed, and I had my reservations on taking this trip, but it's almost like, hey, wherever you go, that is where I'll go. Now, right underneath this, we have my nightstand, and my husband, we just added a nightstand for him, and they really come in handy. Because they're on wheels, they allow us to get to the storage behind them, and if you guys want to see our storage, I will be uploading a video on that soon. So a couple of the things that we did on the RV was we painted walls, we removed furniture, we added our own personal touches, we went ahead and did some flooring, and it took a lot longer than I expected. My husband was not working at the time, and so we were really able to focus on the space, but even then it took months, literally months. Now this painting of the walls and cabinets, it looks beautiful, and I'm so glad that we took the time to really do that, but it did take forever. At one point I'm like, guys, I'm going mental. I'm just doing this and I'm painting the same cabinet several times over. I really felt like I was going crazy. But now that they're done and we've been living in this space, it's almost like birth. You just kind of forget the time and energy that was invested into this space. But I'm so glad that we did take that time because it does make a difference. Even people that have visited, they come in here and they're like, oh my goodness, this space is a lot bigger. Like I see it from outside and you come in and it's like the TARDIS. It's a lot bigger on the inside. And a family of 5, we've actually fit very comfortable. One of the reservations that I had on moving into a tinier space is my space. Even in the bigger house, there's certain times that the kids would come into the kitchen and I'm like, I really need you guys out. So when we were moving into this tinier area, I was afraid of how much I was going to be dealing with and battling with them in my space. But believe it or not, it actually has gone a lot better than I anticipated. I do have my bedroom and we do have this large kitchen area. The kids have their own nook area. And a lot of times, like now, the kids are outside. They're not even inside. We have on and off weather here in Kentucky. It rains. Those rainy days, the kids are able to entertain themselves just fine in here. And on sunny days, they're outside. So before I finish this tour, I want to share with you guys some behind the scene photos that we took. When we did the rebuild and the remodeling, we changed a lot of other things than just the paint. We also changed the layout. As you can see in the pop out, there was this sofa and dinette, and we took all that out and we added a longer table with some storage. And then we also did some finishing touches with the hardware. We painted those. We also replaced some of the woods. It was a bit dated, so we made it a lot more modern. One of the other layout changes that we did was in the master bedroom. So we didn't know this at the time, but a RV queen is different than a home queen. They're different in size, and so when we purchased this and it said it was queen, we were so excited. Paul didn't fit in it, and so we changed the layout so he fit more comfortably in it. One of the other projects that we worked on was the RV had a lot of water damage on several of the woods on the base, and so Paul removed that and installed new wood. You actually cannot tell the difference. He did a really good job at blending that. We also had a little spot in the master bedroom. If you see in the before pictures, there used to be some kind of cabinet that would go down. So when we removed those, Paul went ahead and fixed the wood on the top so that way it blended a lot more smooth. So you really couldn't tell the cabinets were there. And we actually don't miss those cabinets because we added extra storage on the bottom. We don't miss those cabinet spaces at all. One thing that I do want to share is when we painted the RV, it took several layers. And I know I had watched several videos and they talked about how they had to paint several times. I was very optimistic and I was like 1 or 2 times. Oh no, I think we painted the same surface easily 4 or 5 times. We primered it several times. We used different paint. In the end, we did stick with Behr. We did notice there was a difference in the way it came out. It just came a lot more finished, a lot more smooth. So we do recommend the Behr paint. That's the one we finished with. It's pretty amazing. We look at these before pictures and we're like, oh my goodness, our home looked that way. I forgot. Guys, the remodeling was so worth the time and effort that we put into it. It makes it feel a lot more like home whenever we come in because it's so personalized. Also, it gives us a spirit of accomplishment. Even the kids see it now and are like, yes, I worked on this with you. I remember sanding this. So it definitely makes a difference and we're so glad we did the remodeling. So this concludes the tour of our home. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are interested in what kind of products that we used while rebuilding and remodeling our RV, we will leave some of those things in the description box below. If there's anything that we missed that you're interested in, please leave us a comment and we'll get back to you guys. Thanks for watching.